Good morning, everybody, and thanks for joining us for another installment of our social recruiting webinars. Today we're going to be talking about Facebook recruitment best practices for staffing companies. So if you're a staffing company, you're in the right place. If you're not, feel free to stay on. There will be a lot of pertinent information. Although this webinar is specifically tailored for staffing companies, there are some small differences here and there between what staffing companies and employers should be doing on Facebook. So this one goes into specifically staffing. I'm Jen Picard. I'm the Product Marketing Director here at Identified, and I'm joined by Lizzie Bluestein, our Sales and Marketing Coordinator.
Hi, everyone.
And then we also have Eric Kostelnik, our VP of Sales, in the room.
Hi, everybody.
So Identified Employer Solutions are Facebook recruiting solutions for the social employer. And we have three tools. One is a passive sourcing tool called ProSearch. It allows you to search through the Facebook network for passive and active candidates. We have TalentLink, which is our Facebook job posting application. It sits right onto your Facebook page and allows you to collect all of your jobs in one location. And then our third tool is called Social Media Manager, where we essentially help you create, manage, and monitor your Facebook page to make sure that you're posting the right content, the right amount of job postings, and things like that. So I'll get into some quick housekeeping and takeaways. Today's webinar should be about 30 minutes. We'll try and get everybody in and out of here within that time period so you can get on with your days. You can ask questions any point throughout the webinar. Lizzie will be monitoring them, and she can respond to you right on the spot. She'll shout out your questions throughout the presentation, and we'll try and get to everybody's question. If we don't get to your question for whatever reason, I will follow up with you after the webinar, or one of our dedicated account managers will get in touch with you. So the key takeaways today are, one, why Facebook? So why should you be on Facebook? And then second of all, how do you use Facebook to recruit? So some of the tools that we are going to be talking about today are recruiting with your personal profile, recruiting with your business page, using applications, using advertising, and how you can go into passive search. So if anybody's been on our webinars before, I'm sure you've seen the slides, so I won't get into too much detail here. But essentially what this is showing is a Forrester study from last year, which shows that 96% of U.S. online adults are on Facebook. So this is the first reason why you should be on Facebook. It's that with 901 million members worldwide, Facebook is the place to be if you're going to try and find your passive and active candidates. The second reason why you should be on Facebook is because of the exponential network. So the average Facebook user has 130 friends. If you multiply that 130 friends by their average of 130 friends, you get nearly 17,000 people in your second-degree network. So what this really means is that everything you do on Facebook can help you spread your message, not just to the people that you're connected to, your 130 people, or some people are 500 people, but to their network as well. So now what we're going to do is go ahead and jump into a screen share here, and I'm going to get into how you can use Facebook. So let me go ahead and switch over. I'm going to share my desktop with everybody. We're going to land here on my Facebook timeline, or not my timeline, my news feed here, and we're going to show you how you can use your personal profile to post jobs, to post anything you want. This is going to be something that you'll use if you want to reach out to your friends and your family members. So a lot of people like to reach out to their personal connections when they're trying to find referral candidates. So, to find out if anybody in your network has a friend or family member that would be interested in a job that you have available, or even if they have any connections to potential clients for your company. So the best place to do here is right here in your status box. You can go ahead and type in a message. We'll just write in job posting, pretend like this is a real job posting here. And what I can do with this is I can tag people that I think are specifically interested in this job. So maybe I want to see, hey mom, do you know anybody that's interested in this job? I can also schedule this post for a later date if I don't want it to post out right now, or if I want to schedule them to go out every day for the next week without having to actually log in every day. So I would just add the year and the month and the date. Pretty simple. I can also add a location in here. So I can say, hey, this job is located in San Francisco. So I'll just go ahead and type in, let's say I want to type Identified. So I can say this job is at Identified and it's in San Francisco. Here I can choose who this post shows to. So Facebook has created some smart lists for me, so I can say I can send it to everybody in the entire world. That's public. I can post this to just my friends, or I can post to my friends except people that I don't really know very well. I can also post this job to a custom group based on my list. So I can send it to specific people or lists. I would just type in here, maybe I only want to send it to job candidates. So really quickly, I can show you how to set up this list. This is a way for you to sort of use Facebook like you would use LinkedIn by connecting with people through your personal network. A lot of candidates might be a little bit wary to do this right now, so it's up to you if you feel comfortable with this situation or not. But basically, these lists allow you to keep your privacy intact. I'll go ahead and cancel it here. I'll go back to my home page. I can show you how to create a list. It's really simple. And we're going to find Friends and click More. And then up here we'll say Create List. I can just type in job candidates here. Create. I already have one with that name. Rookie mistake. So we'll say job candidates 717. We're going to create this list, and then I can add people into it. So I can add people that I'm already connected to on Facebook, or I can add people to this list as I add them on the network. So it looks like Facebook's running a little bit slowly today, so we'll go ahead and just exit out of here. So that's pretty much the bulk of how you can use your personal profile to connect with candidates on Facebook. The most powerful way, I think, to really get your Facebook recruitment presence set up is with a Facebook page. So I'm going to show you one of our clients here, Integrity Staffing Solutions. They've set up this page to help them not only connect with their clients, but to also reach out to potential job candidates. So for many of our employers, I recommend that they set up a separate career page. But for staffing clients, it's not really necessary to separate out your page because everybody can kind of fit into that same little grouping and receive the same messages. So for example, you can basically give professional advice to anybody, whether it's a client or a candidate. And that way you can keep connecting with people even long after they've filled their requisition or long after they found a job on your site, because everybody can always use professional advice. You can also post pictures on here. So, for example, you could have your happy placements. You can have somebody write a story about how they found a job through your company and give them a picture, or give you a picture to post up on your page here. You can then link that to the post. So perhaps you have a blog that you put all of your success stories on. That would be a really great piece of content to put on your page here, because it not only shows candidates that you were helpful in finding a job for somebody, but it shows clients that you're able to match them with the right candidates as well. So everything you do on this page, if you just have a single page, you want it to be, you want it to have kind of a dual purpose. So one, to prove to clients that they should work with you, and two, to prove to candidates that you can help them find work with your clients. So a really great thing about this new timeline update is that they've allowed you to star and pin posts. I don't think the Integrity is doing this much right now, but they have. Do you see that picture of the cat? That is so cute. 10 people already liked it and they posted it this morning. So pictures are a really great way to get your community talking. Let me head over to the Identified page, and we can show you how to star and pin posts since I don't have control over the Integrity page. So essentially what we do here is if we want to star a post, which means we want it to take up the entire width of the page, we can just click on this little star icon right here, and it makes it take up this whole width. This will stay in chronological order. The next option you can do is you can click on this little pencil icon, and you can say Pin to Top. And that's going to put this post at the top of your page for an entire week until you change it. If you don't change it within a week, it'll just go back to its original position. So both starring and pinning posts on your page are a great way to make some of your more important job postings stand out, or to make some of your success stories stand out, whatever you think is most important to you as a company. One of the services that Identified offers is called Social Media Manager, and it helps our clients figure out, what kind of content to put on their page. We help them with figuring out who their audience is and what posts are most appropriate for the audience, which types of posts get the most engagement and therefore show up more in the Facebook newsfeed. And then we help them analyze everything on their page so that they know that they're really optimizing their Facebook presence to get the best business. So we'll go ahead and talk a little bit about the job posting application now. One of the best practices with posting jobs on Facebook is to never post jobs more than 20% of the time. That's because job postings aren't really as engaging as, say, a picture or a success story or anything else you could be putting on your page. So what some of our clients have found is that if you have a job posting app on your page, some of your other content will show up in your fans' news feeds and effectively drive people over to your page to check out the app. So on our page, somebody might see this post about making the professional space fun, and they say, hey, I want to make the professional space fun, and they come onto our page and they say, I really like Identified, and I wonder if they're hiring. They can come to our app here and click on it, and they can immediately see all of the job postings that we have available. So even though that it wasn't the initial job posting that drove people over to our page, once they're on our page, they're able to see everything we have available and if anything fits their interests. So at Identified, we don't have a whole lot of job openings right now. We've really finished staffing up, I think, for the time being. But for some of our larger clients, there will be a search bar here where people can put in what type of job they're interested in and what location they're looking for. So we can go ahead and take a look at the back end here so everybody can take a quick peek at what this looks like. Before I get into the back end, did anybody have questions about Facebook pages in general? No questions so far? Okay, great. Go ahead and just shout them out if you have anything. So I'll go ahead and get into the demo here of what a job posting application looks like. It's very easy to use. It's pretty much just like posting a job on any other website. So I would come in, I would say post a job. On the right here, you can see all of the channels that our jobs get published out to. This really helps increase our reach quite a bit. So we found that having these job aggregators like Indeed and Simply Hired here have actually increased our jobs reach by 300%, which is really huge for a small startup like us. This is literally the only tool we use to recruit right now, and we've had wild success with it. So just like any other job posting, you put in the title, country, just the basic information. You can put in a description. And then you can actually have the applications go directly to this application. So they'll be emailed to whoever sets this up. So here I have my email address. Or you can send candidates to an external site to apply. So if you have an existing ATS, it'll link right up with that. It'll pull the jobs for you and then also redirect your applicants to that ATS to apply. And so there's a lot of options here. We use this tool on its own actually as a mini ATS, so it collects all of our jobs here for us. If we go into Manage Jobs, I can see everybody that's applied directly on our page here. So this is been a really helpful tool for us. We're a small company. So the job posting app, like I said, can collect applications here on Facebook or your ATS. The best practice, if you can, is to keep people here on your page, but obviously, people have ATSs for a reason, and so we have that option available. You can share these jobs on LinkedIn, Twitter, and other social networks as well. Just go in and you click the share button up here, and you can share to any networks that you have hooked up. And then you can also see all of your metrics to understand where your views and your applications are coming from. So that's about it for the Talent Link product. It's a really nifty tool. If you do have a Facebook page, you absolutely should have one of these job posting applications, whether it's ours or somebody else's. It really just helps you bring candidates to your page to apply for jobs.
Hey Jen, real quick too, just some quick stats for everybody. We're going over some interesting things that our clients are using via the Facebook network, but I'm sure all of you are familiar with the Job Bite social survey that comes out on an annual basis. Well, it came out last week, and to give you some idea of some of the stats on that, some high-level stats, is that 92% of employers are planning on using social recruiting in 2012, and 2/3 of those recruiters are using Facebook to find new talent. So that is actually an 11-point increase over 2011. And we're starting to see that there's been a lot of inbound interest coming from staffing companies specifically on how do I establish that corporate brand on Facebook, as well as start leveraging it via a sourcing tool as well. So I think the next step is to answer any questions specifically on TalentLink and the Facebook platform. And then we're going to take you a little bit into what we're working on the sourcing side of things.
So we have a couple questions about TalentLink. One of them is if TalentLink is separate from Facebook or embedded into Facebook.
So TalentLink is an identified product. It's a paid tool, and we do integrate it with your Facebook career page. I'm not sure if that was the question, but so it's not a Facebook tool. It's an identified tool, but it is fully integrated.
So Jen actually had showed you how to post the job on the tool itself. Identified uses our TalentLink for our own internal ATS, but we integrate with other ATS and CMS systems out there that actually will automatically publish your jobs to the site, much like I think there were some questions on Work for Us and some other tools there. Yeah, it's much similar to those programs to where you actually automatically post the jobs to your corporate Facebook page.
So Emily asked if we can define wild success. Do you track placements? If so, describe that a bit. So yeah, here at Identified, when I said wild success with this, I meant that this is the only tool we use for recruiting, and we've been able to fill all of our positions through this.
So let's focus real quick on the screen. If everybody wants to take a look at the screen real quick and take a look at the views by source, this is something that is very interesting, and a lot of this has changed over the last 5 years. And some of the concerns that we address on a daily basis is, hey, Facebook is more for social, not for professional. But the reality is that the virality on this system is incredible. And the way that we measure that is by seeing how our jobs organically are fed through the system, through the people that like our page, and through our internal staff sharing positions. And you can see that the job postings are viewed organically on our page and through users. Roughly between 40 and 50% of all of the views we get through that are coming through those sources. Now, we do a pretty good job with our social media. It's been a direct focus for our company in engaging our talent community on the user side as well as on the employer side, and what Jen's been doing. But you can see that all of the efforts that we have in our organization in social media goes towards a few things. Number one, brand awareness and ensuring that our users have a great experience with Identified.com and the resources we use. And two is obviously publishing job opportunities and publishing opportunities for our consumers. And then three would be leveraging social media to actually inform our potential customers and our current customers on social media and what companies are doing. So that is really the reason, and we use Facebook as the hub of that resource. We do publish information out into Twitter and LinkedIn and other sites, which is fantastic, but we believe that building a talent community on Facebook and helping our clients build talent communities on Facebook is ultimately going to be where you're going to have the most success. And this is very early stage. When we talk about this, a lot of this has come about here over the last 8 months. So I'm sure there are probably some more questions here. Lizzie?
Is TalentLink available to customers for a monthly fee?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so if you're interested in TalentLink, go ahead and shoot us a message. We'll follow up with you after the webinar to discuss the different options available. So going back to what we talked about earlier with the exponential network, I just wanted to point out something really notable here. Our views by source, the Facebook users, you can see highlighted here. 15% of our views have come through our users sharing our jobs on their wall within messages or just liking our job postings. So essentially every time somebody interacts with something on our page, it gets posted out to their entire network. So we're seeing that, in the past 30 days, 15% of our job views coming from our Facebook users has really amped us up a little bit here with 84 views. So obviously the more jobs you have, the more views you'll be getting, but this is pretty huge for us. So I'll go ahead and get into the next part. I want to talk a little bit about advertising. Advertising isn't something that I would normally recommend for most of our employer clients, but there's a couple unique things you can do as a staffing company that just make a lot of sense. So we'll go ahead and move over. Let's see the best way to get over to the advertising. I know there's a direct link, but I always forget what it is. So I'll go ahead and wait for this to load just a minute. Sorry for the slowness here. I'm going to click on this little link that's advertising here. And so the main thing that I think is really helpful for staffing companies in particular would be a check-in story. So for staffing companies, what you can do in your physical office location is to encourage candidates coming in to check into your location. So you just put a little sign up, or maybe you give away a prize or something like that to get people to go onto their phones and say, hey, I was here. I was at this company looking for a job, interviewing with your recruiters, and basically just interviewing in general. So that does two things for you. One, it helps spread the message out to that person's network. So like I said, everything that person does on Facebook shares with their network. So if I come to your office and I check in at your company, it tells all of my friends, hey, Jen Picard checked in at Manpower or Integrity or wherever I am. And it kind of encourages my friends to check out your location as well. So if I have any other people looking for jobs, it kind of serves as social proof that somebody they know trusts you to help them find a job. And the second thing that does is it helps clients understand who you are. So I might have a friend that's a recruiter at, let's say, Apple or Google or something like that, and if they're looking for a company to do placements, they might say, oh, well, Jen Picard just checked in here. Maybe I can look into that company. So it can not only help you find more candidates, but it might also help you reach your client base a little bit more and help you expand your client base. So what we're going to do here is we're going to send people to our page. So we're going to say, let's say that this is your corporate location here. We want to promote identified, and then stories. Let's see, stories about their friends liking identified, specific post on identified. They just changed this. Let's see here. Just the post above. So, stories about their friends liking identified. So anybody that comes in and likes your page, they can show that as a sponsored story to everybody that that person knows. So this is a really powerful way just to get yourself out there. And one of the really amazing things about these sponsored stories on Facebook is that you can get really targeted here. So as you can see over here, right now about 7 million people will see this. But let's say that you're a staffing company that's located only in California. You don't want to be showing this ad and paying for people to click on this ad all over the country, so you'll go ahead and check state province and enter in a state. So I'll put in California here. You can also say, I don't really want 13-year-olds clicking on my job ad. Like they're not going to be a good client for me or a good candidate. So I'm going to say I'm only interested in people that are 20 and above, or maybe between the ages of 20 and 64, the working age. You can also target by interests and categories, and then you can target by connections as well. So right now, this is going to show to 886,000 people that are friends of people that like your page, which is really great to help you basically expand your reach. So for staffing companies, I absolutely recommend this tool. It's really easy to use once you get the hang of it. And then you can put in how much money you'd like to spend on this. So you can choose per day, or you can choose a lifetime budget for this campaign. The next tool we're going to get into is how to search passive candidates on Facebook. And so for this, I'm going to go ahead and send it over to Eric. He's going to show you how you can use ProSearch, which is one of our paid tools to filter the Facebook network by keyword, location, graduation year, and a bunch of other fun stuff.
Thanks, Jen. So we are going to briefly go over the sourcing tool here, but let me first back up and let you know why we have spent a majority of our resources putting together a sourcing tool. So 93% of all recruiters that were surveyed in that JobBite survey use LinkedIn, and we know that it is growing exponentially right now with about 150 million users, about 70 million of those being in the United States. But what it actually doesn't tell is what they're actually using that tool for. So what recruiters are using that tool for. And generally what we find is that tool is being used for the 10%, and that is for people that are with 10 years of experience or greater, making over $100,000, and that are between the ages of 40 and 45. So those are the averages for LinkedIn. And so what you find is that there's a tremendous gap when it comes to those individuals that are not on that platform and the needs of recruiters. And so when I came over to Identify last year from Career Builder, there was a lot of opportunity that I felt like was just being missed when it came to dedicating resources to building tools for recruiters. And really what we've been doing over the last year is building out ProSearch to help recruiters tap into Facebook data as they would through a LinkedIn recruiter tool. So this tool will be coming to market in 2 weeks. We have selected some launch partners in the enterprise space as well as the staffing space that will be kind of the first to market with these. We are still selecting a few additional staffing organizations to fill out that the launch partners on the staffing side of things. So if you are interested in becoming one of our launch partners on staffing, we can go ahead and reach out to you directly. But let's look at the tool real quick. And so what you're going to find is that let me just bring this up here. What you're going to find is that the data that is embedded within Facebook is generally not sourceable on that platform. And what you see is that, I'm going to take us back to Facebook real quick, is that if I search for a software developer in Facebook's search tool here, I'm going to come up with results that might not necessarily be right for my business, and the way that they populate this information if I go to people is maybe not necessarily the best way for sourcers to leverage the Facebook for recruiting purposes. So our thought is that we have 10 million users that have joined Identified, and through those 10 million users, as you can see here, through those 10 million members, we actually have a reach into over 300 million Facebook profiles. And so this becomes a very interesting stat for recruiters, specifically staffing companies, because we now have more profiles and more information than the LinkedIn network after only 8 months of being around. So a lot of you are probably asking yourselves, like, okay, well, that's great and everything, but there's just not a ton of professional information on Facebook, and you're right. So about 50% of our users that we've profiled from the Facebook network actually have minimal recruitable data. And what that means is that they enter in within their Facebook profiles that they work as a front-end engineer at Sandes, and they went to University of California, Irvine, and they live in San Francisco, California. So work, job title, where they live, and where they went to school is a minimal recruitable data point that we believe is valuable for recruiters when you're sourcing information from the Facebook network. So what we've done is we've built a tool that allows you to source through those 300 million profiles in a way that you're familiar with through LinkedIn Recruiter. So you'll be able to folder information, you'll be able to save searches. You're also able to sort via score. And what the score means is that Identified associates a professional score to everybody that comes onto the site and every Facebook profile that we're able to catalog through first and second degree connections. And the reason why we do that is because we want to make sense of information that allows people to recruit Facebook data better. So you'll find that what you're able to do is go through the data, do searches, within first and second 3-degree plus with work experience, education, and location. Now, what you're looking at right now is a beta product, and several of our initial early adopters currently leverage this tool on the beta side. When this gets released and once we are completely finished with this tool in 2 weeks, you'll see a tremendous amount more of data points. Now, I'll just go into Anusha's profile here, and I'll show you what the profiles actually look like. You'll see the work experience, education background. You'll see how you are connected to these people. You'll be able to search through connections. That means if you're connected to certain individuals who know an employee, I can go apply those filters and then see only the people that are connected to an employee, and as well as never viewed, always viewed, and then there's several other functionalities that come within this tool. So the takeaway here is that this resource is something that is very new, and we're not saying it's going to be perfect, but what we are saying is that it is something that will give you additional resources that we believe that are most aligned with what you're used to, and that is LinkedIn Recruiters and several other sourcing tools. So look for this coming to market in a few weeks, and if you are, we have about 150 people on the call right now. If you are part of the launch program and the launch partners, we're really looking forward to working with you. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out directly to me, Eric, at identified.com, or directly to Jen. A lot of the information that we're providing today is going to be on our website, employers.identified.com, and there you'll be able to see all past webinars, the blog information on some of the studies we do, the partnership studies that other people in our space do, and we'd be happy to answer any questions directly as well. That's it for me. Thank you for joining us, everybody. I'll go ahead and I guess open it up to questions. Lizzie?
We had one question. What's the cost of ProSearch?
So at this time, we are not making the pricing public. We are still working on putting together pricing plans based on the usage, based on the performance of the tool, and ultimately, it will be in line with what you're used to as far as other sourcing tools in the market.
One other question, does a Facebook user have to be a member of Identified in order for staffing firms to be able to search for that candidate on ProSearch?
So it all has to do with the connections. So if we have 10 million users, and through those 10 million users, we've been able to generate over 300 million Facebook profiles that are cataloged, with about a half of those having minimal recruitable data in them in their professional profiles that we've been able to create in our system. Now, you might not be an identified user, but because the information is public and because one of your first and second degree friends have joined Identified, we now have access to that information via the Facebook Connect button, which is all done through the API that Facebook has. So all staffing organizations will be able to view and search for the information just like an enterprise client would, or just how anybody would through the ProSearch tool. So I'd be happy to speak with you individually regarding how we do this and the legality and security behind it. But at this point in time, we are. Once we launch it, we'll be able to show you exactly what we mean when it comes to searching through those Facebook connections. Great. Well, thanks for joining us today. Jen, did you have anything else?
No, I think that's it. I just wanted to really quickly do a shout out. Thank you everybody so much for coming today. We do offer complimentary Facebook recruitment consultations to anybody that's interested in figuring out, what the best tools are for their organization to use, and if any of the identified employer solutions would be a good fit for your recruitment strategy. So we're going to go ahead and open up a poll. If you're interested in that recruitment consultation, just go ahead and let us know. If not, no big deal. We're so glad that you can make it today, and we hope that you got some actionable takeaways from today's presentation. As always, feel free to reach out if you have any other questions, and we'll follow up with anybody that's interested after the webinar.
Great. Thanks, everyone.